RBCDs and refresh database. So at the moment it's this way, but it will be changed later. But you have two buttons or three buttons. One is reload workstation database and the refresh database, and the sign in button. So refresh database is basically updating your data. If there's any changes in the backend, means some price changing or maybe addition of the new item. So sometimes you need to update it to take effect quicker. Because by default we put 15 minutes update automatic. So in case any changes on the backend, so automatically it will be updated. But in case you want it to be an urgent, you can click the refresh database. It will be like few seconds. And you have here the reload workstation database. So if there's any major update, maybe some tax changes or page screen was changed. Okay, so if it's not taking effect on the refresh database, we're using the reload database. So this reload workstation database, it will ask you for this question: are you sure you want to reload the Docker database? It will take time, maybe maximum 5 minutes. So if I press yes, it will update, and you won't be able to use it for a few minutes. Okay, as you can see on the lower part, okay, so this will be helpful for you guys in case you have any problem on your workstations. You can inform your ID. So you can see this AKSGH caps. This is the name of the POS or your computer name. So you have the date and time here. This is the revenue center. So which revenue center you are currently signing. So if you're in the room service, you have this room service. You have then Al-Baha or the Al-Baha, yes. And some specific revenue center. So you have the breakfast here. This is the serving period, so it's automatically changing. If it's lunch, it will be lunch and dinner. Okay, so this is done. So it's like hardly 3 minutes. So whatever changes on the back end, it will take effect here. So we have here, we have hidden the button sign in. So whenever you click anywhere here or tap the screen, it will give you this sign in. Yes. So if you swipe your card directly on the Micros, it will just automatically, no need to click the sign in, it will automatically sign you in if you have Micros card. Right? So here actually you have three ways to sign in. So one is you have the fingerprint, magnetic card, and the employee pin. But I think you will gonna use the magnetic card. So, but fingerprint it's possible, but I think you don't purchase it. So, but it's possible. Possibility is there. And so this is the sign-in screen, and we have this button here, sign in RBC list. So sign in RBC list, because if you press on the middle part or just swipe directly your card, it will automatically sign in on the room service. So if in case some some workstation have the rights to open multiple revenue center, so you can click sign in RBC list and just sign in. So for now, I'm going to use the pin. So it will give me all the list of the revenue center which is available on this machine. Because all the machines have a capacity of 8 revenue centers, we cannot put more than that. Since you have only 6 or 7 revenue centers, so we don't worry about it. So if I click on here, directly sign in. So it will only show me one revenue center because this is the default. Okay, so I just go for room service. So once you sign in, so this is the home page or how you begin a check, begin a check or pick up a check. So whenever you go in any iFoodie, it has the same functions, so same design. So if you want to change it, let me know. If you can inform your IT. You can change the colors and the functionality. So, but for now, I will just gonna show you whatever is available or whatever functions you can use, regardless if you're a manager or a waiter, because most of the time the waiter doesn't have the void. So for now, I will show you everything, what you can do. Okay, just think like you're all the manager here. Okay, so sign in. So as you can see, it's sign out automatic. So by default, we also have that functions that if you're not using any, if you're not touching it or you're idle for a few minutes, a few seconds, I think 45 seconds, it will automatically sign you up for your uh, security reasons. So in case you're a manager and then you need to go somewhere urgent place, so no one will use it on the specific time. Yeah. Okay, so, so this is the home screen. Okay, so in the home screen you have the tabs here. You have the main, you have the report tabs, and you have the IT functions. So we're focusing on the main tab or main screen. So you have here the begin check by table, begin check by name. Since I know everyone uses it, but I'm gonna go back again to the basics. So begin check by table. What's the difference of begin check by table and by name? Is by table is directly asking for a table number, and by the name it's asking for a name first and then asking for a table. We'll open both. So I'll begin check by table. So begin check by table.
10.
Okay, so table number 400. Because in the room service normally you have the room number.
Room number, that's why we can check by 9 only.
Yes. So you can use both. Actually, if you're in the other outlet, you have the begin check by table, but we can change that in the room service if you don't want the begin check by table. So number of guests. So it is always mandatory to put the correct guest number. I'll tell you later why. So press OK. So you have this option, so we call it order type. So you have the dine-in, takeout, so whatever the guest, how you want to use it. I think you have your manager will inform you like which one to use whenever the guest came, if it's external or, so this is the order type. So I'll select dine-in. So in dine-in you have this items on your specific outlet. You have the room service, and you can see in the lower part you will see your name. So whoever opened the check or whoever signed in, it will give you a name. Okay, so on the left side, you can see here the check details. On the check details, it will give you table number 400 or room number 400/1. And you have the dining that we selected earlier. And you have the check number 1. This is a unique. So it will be like if you have 5 days already in operation, it might be 1,000 or 2,000. So you have the guest count here and the date and time when the check is open. And you have the name.
Mike.
Yes, so this is your name. Okay, so you have the items here. We have this is what we call navigation bar. But you can call it any main tab, or they have the sub tab on the right side. So which one is easier for you? But we call it a navigation bar. So in the navigation bar, you're categorizing all the items. So you have here in-room dining, the normal one, and you have the Indian, you have the Arabic, and on the sub tab, you have this options. Okay, so to order an item, it's simply click the items. So if I go to breakfast, let's say I'll select American breakfast. So since they don't have the price yet, so it's a 0. Okay, and you have the 0 here. This is a seat number, so it's an optional to put in the seat number. Okay, so for example, you want to add multiple items at the same time. So you have the numbers here on this side. So you need to press, let's say 5 English breakfast. So you will have here 5 English breakfast. Okay, so that's for the quantity only. Okay, so this is the items. So basically this is not yet saved, so you can still void. So if you don't have the access to void, so you can still void the item because it's not saved or it's not sent to the kitchen.
Christian, how you will edit the seat number?
Yes, edit seat number, we have the seat number here.
Okay.
So before you punch, you can, as you see here, it will be a seat number 1.
Okay.
You select the item. Let's say, and if you select again the seat number, it will give you seat number 2. Okay. Seat number 3. Seat number 4. So that's a seat number. So whatever number here, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will also print in the kitchen printer. So at least they know that.
Yeah.
Some for information.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so if you click save or send, it will prepare to the kitchen. So, but in case you mistakenly select the items that you were not supposed to select, so just select the item and you can press the void button here. I think everyone knows void. So void. So it's not asking you for any authorization because it's not saved. So technically it's still, you're correcting your mistakes. Okay, so if I try to click save or send, so once I click save or send, it will go to the respective kitchen printers or board printers and they will start preparing. Okay, so log in again. So on this side, you can see here, all the checks open. Okay, so we'll be here, you see this micros. So this is the name of the employee who opened the tables. So if you have multiple employees who open a check on the same revenue center, it will give you the names here on the next side. Okay, so you have here also the details or quick information of the check. So you can see here the room or the table number 400/1. There's a /1 because you can able to create another check with the same table number. It will give you /2. That's why it's showing you /1. But we can limit that if you don't want to open multiple check on the same table. We can do that. As you can see, also here there's a green. Okay, sorry. There will be a green color here. There will be three colors. Okay, so green, yellow, and red. Green is open, or no one is using it for now, so you can pick it up or you can close it anytime. But if it shows yellow, it means it's open on the other machine. For example, you have one big restaurant. If you have 3 workstations there, and it's open from one of those workstations, it will give you a yellow color. It means it's active. It means someone is changing or someone is editing that check. Maybe someone is adding additional item or someone is closing it. So it will give you a yellow color. And that means it's a busy color, yellow. Okay. If it's red, it means it belongs to the offline workstation or some issues with that check. Normally it happens if you have 3 workstations, one of them is turned off. So that check will, whatever open checks on that workstation, it will give you a red color. Okay, so just remember that, yeah, green, yellow, and red will be very helpful for you later. And you have here the name of the table who opened, the employee name, and you have the total and the opening time of the check. Okay, so we have 2 ways to open a check. One is just simply select here, okay, and you have the pickup check by table. So pickup check by table, it will ask you for a table number to pick up. So it will be easy if you have a busy operation to use the pickup check by table. But since we only have for testing, so we only have one open check. So just simply click it. It will go back to this check. As you can see, there will be changes on the details. Okay, it means it's saved. If I try to bring another item, you will see the difference, right? So if you try to void this, it's fine. But if you were gonna void this save item, it will ask you for a reason, and then you might have that authorization for that. Okay, so that's the difference of voiding a closed check. Sorry, voiding a save check and without saving the check. So any question in that?
Yes. Like I want to be void the English breakfast only. So it is possible, or can I go by down only?
This one?
Yes.
You can select anything.
Anything.
Yes. But you can void only one at a time.
Only one. I cannot void 2, 3.
At a time. So if you void this one,
One by one.
yes. To void one by one. You can select multiple.
Okay. So I can go by one.
Or if you want to void everything, you can void the whole transaction.
The first thing is like if the order has been placed and if this KOT has been reached to the kitchen, then the food item is started prepared. You cannot void it. It has to be SNP because the food cost is already involved in that. If the KOT is not reached the kitchen or the food is not been prepared, then yes, we can void it because we can give the different option as mentioned, like guest cancel the order.
Yes.
Do we have a option where we split that particular item on a different check to close it as a SNP or something?
Yeah, SMP is like a complementary.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that.
We can do it.
And one more question I have.
Yeah.
Maybe some guest is coming. Maybe from the rooms I already placed the order and I already safe and it's QT going to the kitchen. Okay. So maybe the guest changing the mind. Okay, I don't want to be order. I want to order from outside. So maybe it's happening. So it's at that time it is possible to can we close all the checks? Can we void all checks?
Yeah, technically you can void, but that situation is up to your management how you want to handle it.
Yes.
But technically you can still void it.
Yes. This is optioning only for the managers only.
I think so.
Yes.
All the void option, only the access will have with the manager.
Yes. So show it is possible to show us that
Sure.
option also.
The void you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the same thing. You can void it.
Okay. Same
Yeah, the same procedure.
micros in
Yes.
card. Okay.
So it will just ask you for a reason, and then you can directly close it.
Christian, what is the option? Like we deleted individual items at a time. We voided individual item. Then the check is blank over there with one check number,
Yes.
right? So how we close that check?
You can close it in any payment method.
Cash, zero cash.
Because it's a zero price, so it's the same.
This is we usually do it like cash zero, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can punch another order also the same.
Yes, we can.
Right?
Yes, you can, but it doesn't make sense if you want. Why you need to add another?
We actually shouldn't do it. Then we cannot give the justification for the voids.
Yeah, that's also because most of the time if you're gonna void it, you need to give the bill, so the check number can be matched in the check number from the reporting side.
We
So,
can split also,
sorry.
like this last two items, the guest want to pay separately, so we can split.
Yeah, split it, yeah.
Split will show in void,
You can
like last void report from my micros, it will show in void report,
yes, it will show.
split.
No, that split will show. In the My Micros, we can see it, the split. But you can, because void report is a different report.
Different.
There's no report for split, but there's a report for void.
Yes,
So
yes.
from there you can check it like how the check behave. Like before they split it, did they save it or they split it after?
From check reports.
Yeah,
I
we can
see.
see that in the report.
But the split also will show in void,
No, split will not show in the void.
void report from my micros,
Yes.
it will not, okay.
Because split we don't have a specific report for split, and it's if you're logically it will not be linked to voiding because that's how process you are doing it.
Yes.
So it's like it's a separate.
Like if I want to split this one, I can split in another case. It will
Yes.
give a new check number.
Yes,
Okay.
it will give you new check number whenever you split a check or transfer it. It will just give you a separate check.
So it will not say void.
I will show you. I'll show you that. I'll show you that later regarding the split.
Yes.
Okay, so that void is clear, right?
Yeah.
So to close the check, so save. So whenever you do a void, you always need to save the check to take effect on the void because if not, it will cancel all the changes you have made. Okay, so we'll try to close it. I'll just try to punch the item with price. I think there's no price here. Any item doesn't have the price. I think in some other outlet. So if you close it, so go to payments. So you have the payment here. Okay, so payment, and you have the options here, the discounts, and you have the payment and offline payment. So what's the difference of payment, this one, and offline payment? Okay, so because payment is linked to your Opera, so if there's no internet, it will not go through Opera. So this one is all linked to Opera. So whenever you have a down server, for example, your internet doesn't work, so you won't be able to close any of this. Okay, so if you try to close in cache, it will give you an error, the timeout, because the internet is not there or there's no connectivity from the Opera. So in that case, you will use the offline.
Offline pay.
But this is like very rarely happen. maybe if you have catering outside, maybe you'll bring your POS, then you can try to post it in offline, and then once you go back in, you can post it online. So, but in case you're offline, so you can still close the bill, offline cash, room or credit card. So this is the pay. So we go to the payment. So as you all know, you can do a partial payment in Micros or Symphony. So at the moment there's no price. So whenever I close cash or Visa, it will automatically close without asking how much I need to pay. Okay, so you have the room charge as well. So I'll just press cash. So you can see nothing asked.
Close.
Yeah, that's okay. So that error is because I don't have the receipt printer connected. Okay, so any question on closing it? Because normally you will, yeah,
How to room charge?
room charge, okay? Okay. I'll go to the other outlet with the price. Spices. So you can check the label. Again, the same scenario. I select the order type. So go to pizza. So I have this price. Rich. That's it. Okay, so you want to close it on the
Room
room
charge.
charge. So I'll go to payment. So technically, I'm doing now is a shortcut. I don't save it, but if I go to the payment and I close it, it will automatically save. Okay, so I think we'll remove it. So I'll do payment. So room charge. So it will ask you for a tip because in the room charge, it's how we configured it. So charge tip amount. If this is correct, press yes. If no, press no. You can put manually the tips here.
So tips is not configured if it's not a room charge payment option, right?
Yes, because if it's a credit card, whatever the overpayment, it will give you as tips. Let's say you have 100 bill, you put 120, so it will consider the 20 as a tip. Okay, for the credit cards. Okay, so because cash normally you have it on your tip box or something, so we don't have it. Okay, so we'll do a room charge. So I'll just press yes, and it will ask me for a room number. Okay, so okay, so there's a room name which is the test ID. So it will ask me if this is the correct guess, then press OK. So it will automatically close it. It will not ask you for amount because as per the configuration, it's automatically taking the normal amount. But if you want to change it to add manually the amount, we can do that. But I think automatic, right?
Yes.
I think some automatically.
Will you be discussing in the training how to enter items in Micros? Or
That will be in separate training.
not today?
No, because this is user training. So for adding of the items, it will be involving ID and the cost control. Based on the, I don't know how you.
Yeah, we need to involve IT cost control as well. And then first we need to make sure that the items are available with the prices so we know exactly how we will be punching and we'll be doing the other thing.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But whatever you see here, it will be more like 90% is the same. The only thing is the items might be not there, but it will be the operation will be like this. I think you're asking on the item how to add item backend, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is separate training
IT.
for IT and the cost control.
How to
Because
add.
here we cannot add the
IT.
item from the
We can send the
machine.
email
So it will
to.
be on the backend on the
How
separate
is
piece.
it work? Give me 5 to 10 minutes exactly. I'll call you back.
Okay, so we'll try begin check by name. So since we use a begin check by table, yeah.
Yeah, you can continue with that.
There is no option for the open food items and all, which one we don't have in the menu.
See, for that one, we will not put open food items as there is more discrepancy we can make it. But however, like example, if there is in the menu there is chicken Caesar or chicken prawn, Caesar prawn, but the similar items which guests have ordered, but it's not in the menu. So what the process will be, we'll check with the chef if this item what guest is requesting is in available, the ingredients are available. If it is there, we'll ask the chef which particular which is resembles the same with the cost and everything.
Same price.
Same price we will punch it. Will not keep a food item, then anyone can, because if you put a food item open, it means it is not approved.
Yeah.
Any item which goes in the micros has to have a return approval. Like example, whatever the menus we will be giving for them to put in the system is already approved from the higher management itself. If it is a open food items, you will write over there chicken biryani 30 dirham. You are approving it by yourself. It's not approved from the neither from FNB, neither from GM, neither from head. Yes, in the bars, yes, we do have it. We used to have this open food item, open food beverage. We will have it only in the banquets where there will be a BO set with the prices. This menu will be 145 or 130, and then we can, as per that, we can punch the item attached with the BO or the email which comes from the sales. Yeah, so any open item, open beverage will not be there.
So it's mean if we don't have option this open food and open beverage, like if some guest is asking like I need only omelette, it is possible for me and not in the mention in the micros, so it is possible to we can give him.
See, we can give it, but you need to check with the chef because you don't know what is the cost of the
Yes.
item what the guest have requested. So now example, there are certain item which is not there in the menu, but chef can prepare it. Has the guest to make the guest wow feeling, instead of saying no, we can check with the chef. Chef, the guest has requested this, can you make it? If the guest says yes, then what you can do is you can punch the item what he requested, put the comment saying that this item.
But it has to be a fixed item that has already a price.
Exactly.
He cannot.
You cannot put your own item, own prices.
Yes.
So it's mean like I need to put
Like for example, if you're ordering a seafood salad, for example, no sauce, no chicken, like you omit.
like I need to check with the price. I need to check with the chef how much price.
What you don't need to, you just asking what is a different item what you want to punch
Yes.
instead of this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And that
then
item
comment.
you punch it and put the comment what you ordered for.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, I think
you. Yes.
it's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, so we'll begin check by name. So begin check by name. Okay, so we can put GM. Maybe the GM came on your table on your outlet, so you can put the table number of guests. The same scenario, you need to select a table number of guests, and the order type. So, okay, so this is the item. So again, I'll just rename items. Okay, so I'll just explain to you what other functions you can see here and below. So here you have the seat number. Seat number is basically the seat number for a specific item. And you have the clear. Clear is you're going to use it, for example, you select multiple item, let's say 6. So as you can see, there will be number 6 on the upper part. So let's say you mistakenly select number 6 instead of 5. So you can just simply clear it. Clear. So it will be gone. I can select 5. And then select the item. Okay? Because if you go here, and yeah, it's 4, right? And then you accidentally select it. So you have clear button here. Okay? So that's the clear function.
What are the
This number is for quantity.
Quantity of the
part
food.
of
Quantity is. Alright, so as you can see, there will be a number here, 5, and margarita pizza. Let's say 6, go here. So apple juice. So I have 6 apple juice. So it's just a simpler way to add 6 quantity rather than selecting one by one. But that's an optional, okay? So you have the clear. So I think that's fine. So we have the reorder. So reorder is basically, if you press this, it will give you whatever the items on your table. I think most of the F&B they call it running order. Okay, so I'm not sure how you call it running order. So whatever you have here, it will basically copy. So here you can select multiple at the same time. So you can select here, select this one, select this one, select this one. It will give you everything on. So at the same time, it will select you. So whatever you add, it will copy the same, exactly replicate. So let's say I'll add apple juice and I'll put a comment. So I'll comment here. So let's say with ice. Okay. So I order one apple juice with ice. And let's say the customer said I want another one. So I click reorder. I'll select the apple juice with ice. Reorder. So it will give you the second one. Okay. So that's the functions of reorder. Any question on that?
No.
So the same thing here, comment. So comment is basically additional instruction for the chef to prepare or for the man to add some information. So everything you can add a comment everywhere. So soup of the day, say spicy. So you can see here, this is the scroll down, scroll up, scroll to the highest part and scroll to the lowest. Alright. So this is the comment. So any question on that? I think it's easy.
Clear.
Okay. So you have the print check here, or sorry, you have the transaction cancel. So since all this item is not saved, so if I select transaction cancel, it will be gone. Like nothing happened. Okay, so if I press cancel, it will ask you for void all items and cancel transaction. So if you don't want to use any of this item you ordered, or maybe just checking the price, you can just directly void or cancel, so it will automatically void which is not safe. So rather than selecting one by one voiding, I press yes.
So if we didn't save this whole check and we void, this one also will not show in void report?
No, because it's still an error code.
Okay.
It will just give you the amount, how much is the error code total in the macros, but it will not give you the exact information because technically it's not safe. Only the amount. Let's say they cancel 100,000 on that day, you can still see it. But just the rough figure. So we can check the table. Okay, so we have the functions on the right hand side. The upper right side, we have the functions. So we have this few functions. We have the number of guest change, guest check ID, add transfer check, split check, negative check, and the change workstation certificate. Okay, so we'll go with one by one. Just read an item. So I'll just save the item. Okay, so I'll save the item. So spices. So we're gonna use other functions now. So on the upper right side, there'll be number of guests. So number of guests is basically changing the number of guests. For in case you mistakenly select the number of guests on the first screen, which is wrong. Let's say this is number one, right?
Yes.
This guest number one. So you can change it here, number of guests. Say 8. So it will automatically change. Okay. So but for the reports,
Health club team is here?
Just
Yes.
now it comes, yes, sir.
You are in the health club?
Yes.
Both of you?
Yes.
Hamza said he's coming. Hamza said he's coming.
He is coming.
alright, so that's the guest. Okay, so for the reports, who's from the finance here? You're from finance, yeah. So if someone change it here, you can, because it will not give you the proper guest count in the revenue center financial, it will give you in the correct, it will give you the correct guest count in the revenue center close check report.
Oh.
So you can rely on that.
Yes, yes.
But this will come based on what? The number of guests they put?
No, it will the settlement, because the revenue center financial will be basing on the first input, first guest count they input.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So they have to make sure that they put the actual number of guests who arrive in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's other
Because most
option.
of the times I have seen like people are putting just one.
It
Please
all
make sure for records
yeah.
they properly put the number of guests as per the.
Mr. Basi, it also happens certain times like it's table for 4 and then the 2 guest comes and sits and we open the check has two covers. And then later on, when they are having the drink, two more friends join them. At that time, we change the numbers for four because the table is four. Only that reason. Otherwise, whenever the guest sits, if there are two covers, they need to start with the check with two. Unless and until someone joins them after 1 hour or half an hour, then we need to change the covers. Other than they need to put exact cover what they are.
So they have the access to change the number of hours?
Yeah, they can do it.
They can do it.
Yes. But just informing the financial that you can rely on, because it will give you a different
It will be different.
total, yes. That's why I'm telling you, you can rely on the revenue center close check report. It will give you the correct guest count, because that will rely on whenever they close the check.
So the guest count should be give us from our finance, especially the guest count for settlement, not the opening check.
Yes, because in the revenue center of property financial, it will give you the first information of the guest count, not the closing.
There is a different report also for this one.
Yeah, that's why you need to use the revenue center close check, because it's relying when they close it. Let's say okay, so right now when we open this check, it's in the guest count as one. So if you go to revenue center financial, it will give you guest count only one. But if I close this one, it will give you the revenue center close check as number 8, the guest, because it's relying on the close check, not the opening. I'll explain to you on the other check. Okay, so number of guests, so it's pretty straightforward. We'll go to the other one. You have the guest check ID. So guest check ID is basically adding a name on the check. So say my name. So it will give you my name. So it's the same thing in the begin check by table and begin check by name. So it's just like additional information if you select a table instead of a name on the first instance of opening a check. Okay, so I just save it. So in the spices, as you can see, we opened the check by table earlier, but now it has my name. Alright, so that's the guest check ID. So you have a split check, you have the negative check, and you have the. So we use the add or transfer check. So to add or transfer check, you need to have two table opens. So let's say table number 10. Okay, so I'll save it. Okay, so I open another check or another table. So if you're adding or transferring a check, you need to go to the destination check. Okay, so let's say I want to transfer this table number 1 to table number 10. So in that case, you need to go to the table number 10 because that's the destination check. Okay, so that's okay.
Final check.
It's fine. Again, so you need to go to destination check where you will transfer all the other tables or other check number. Okay, so in that case, I want to transfer table number 1 into number 10. So I'll go to number 10. I have the function. You have add or transfer check. So it will give you the list of the check open that you can be able to transfer on the same revenue center. Okay, so it will automatically come here. So if I click save and send, so the table number 1 should be done. Then table 1 is done. Okay, so that's any question in that? So any scenario that you faced before?
Yeah, one, if there is a check open in example Al-Baha and there is another check open, it's like getting a check from another revenue center to this revenue center.
Yeah, that's possible. Actually, I forgot to add it. So that you will allow it, or because I'm
With the access of the manager actually.
Right. So actually, it's the same thing. I will show it to you later because I need to change the configuration, but that's possible. Okay, so the scenario is the same. You need to go to the destination check, and then you can just select the functions like adding or transferring. It will be like the same button, but it will give you add the transfer check from different revenue center. Okay, so that revenue center is It's the same function how you're doing your transfer here. The only additional instruction is it will ask you for which revenue center you want to transfer. Okay, so you have the split check here. So split check, I press split check. It will give me two checks by default, so you can add as many as you like. So you have here the functions: add check, share item, clear selection or remove last split, cancel and save. So if you want to add, so you can see here, this is the number 9, this is the number of check number. Then it will give you check number 9/2/3. If you want to add 4, it will be /4 and so on and so forth. Okay, so transferring an item, simply, or splitting item, simply just select the item and select from the other check. I think it's easy, right? So select the item and select from the other check. Okay, so here also you can share the item. So in some scenario, like they want to share the, let's say in this case we have a Fanta. We just want to share it on 3 checks. So you can select the item and share the item. So you can select all, or for example you want only to share with 2 checks. That's possible. So 9/2, 9/3. Let's say I want to transfer it only in these 2 checks, 9/2 and 9/3. Okay, I select only those. Press yes. It will give you 1/2 and 1/2. Yeah, but it rarely happens. So,
Yeah, that's
but
good.
it's possible. Okay, so I select the item. If you want to put it back, just simply select the item, put it here. It will give you 1. So it will be automatically calculated equally. Okay, so you can select multiple items. Okay, select the item. Simple as that. So any question in here? I'll click save. Exit and save changes. So it will ask you to print the split check, because normally you will have the scenarios they want to get the bill. So you can have the option to print automatic. So press yes if you want. Press no if you don't. So I'll just press yes. So this is where I am asking you earlier that you need to put the correct number of guests. Because if you don't put the correct number of guests, let's.
Can I come, sir?
So I.
Can I join?
Uh, so number of guests. So I think we put the number of guests as 8, right? So if I put 9, okay, this is different. Sorry. What will happen is if you add the split of guests here more than what you put in the guest number, it will give you an error. That you cannot put more than the guests you input on that check. Okay, so it will just give you that error. Then some user will not understand it. Sometimes they will restart it. So which is it's not a good thing, because it might get the check corrupted and might be a problem for the reporting. So let's say number of guests, number 1. Okay, so I'll save it. 6235. Okay, so we split it in 3. So I have 10/1, 10/2, and 10/3. Because it's in the same table number, but you just split it. Okay, so go to payment. You can close it any way you like it. So it depends on how you want to understand.
Here we cannot see the guest count.
Yes. You go to payment, say cash. So here, because this is the main one, we did not put the number of guests. We put only the first, second and third check. So you can change it here. Then save. So if you go on the second check, there will be a number of guests, because we put the number of guests over here. But for the main check, because it will be changed, so you can alter it later.
So whenever we are saving, this will not go to the kitchen, right?
No, because it's already sent to the kitchen. If it's already sent to the kitchen, it will not save. It will not print another one. It's just basically saving what changes you made on this check.
Kristen, one more thing. Once you save and send the check, then now you want to print the check for the guest. How many times the waiter is been allowed to print it?
Okay, so as per the configuration, it's two.
Two
So once
types.
you click print check, so you have this print check. So if you press it twice, you can do it, but after that, it will ask you for authorization to print the check. And it will give you the number of the printed times on the check. So if you will try to do something, it will be easy to find out. Okay, so we use other options. So any question on that? Splitting a check? Any scenario that you want to discuss? Or... Okay, so
There is a settling time, some guests will pay half cash and half card. So we can do it, right?
yes, we can do that.
Cash
We'll
and
do it
card.
now because earlier we don't have the price. So here we have the 40 dirhams. So we'll do splitting up multiple payments, multiple payments. So when you're doing a multiple payment, we always recommend to use the cash as the last part. Okay. Just keep that in mind because it might give you some discrepancy on the report. So that's why you always need to put the cash on the last part. Okay, so let's say I want to have Amex or Visa and cash. So I'll put Visa. So some information like the last four digits, I think
Last
we
four
should go right.
digits.
So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. Okay. So it will give you invalid account because it's not checking in Opera. Okay, because it's already on the training database. So whatever we post, it's already actually recorded. So I think that's why it's giving us an error invalid account. So I go to offline payment. So enter amount. Sorry. So it's automatically closing. Okay, so since we cannot use any credit card, so we'll just use cash multiple times. Just I'll just explain the first cash. Let's say this is a Visa. So for a Visa, it will ask for amount. Let's say this is 16, right? So let's say I put 5 dirhams. For some reason, I want to pay 5 dirhams. Okay, so let's say this Visa has 5 dirhams. That's okay. Okay. Then we cannot post anything. Yeah, so we cannot post anything. Sorry for that. Basically, so basically you can do a partial payment by putting the first one. The last part will be the cash. Okay, I think everyone knows it.
Yes.
But sorry, I cannot show you right now. Okay, so we'll just use this offline cash. So let's assume that this is offline Visa or this is Visa, and we can have 5 dirhams. The total bill is 16. So it will still not close it because we're still pending of 11 dirhams. So I'll go again. Let's say this is cash. So 11 dirhams cash. Then we can close it. That's it. That's for the partial payment. Uh, we also have the other function like negative check. So negative check is basically voiding. I'll give you one scenario. Okay, so this is 100 grams check. So this is check number 9. Okay, so I'll go to payment. So cash. Cash. Okay. So let's say you already customer paid 100 dirhams, but they didn't notice it right now. But after maybe a few hours, they came back. They're telling I only ordered 4 Fanta, not 5. So of course they want the refund for that. So what you're gonna do is, since you already closed it on 100, And again, this is only for managers. But in case after 1 week you become manager, we don't know. So, okay, so what you need to do is you need to do a negative posting or negative check. So you need to go to the outlet, of course. So begin a check by table. So as much as possible, since we have a check number 9 earlier, so as much as possible, what the check number, since you have that bill, right? So as much as possible, the table number is the same, the order type is the same. So table number, let's say number 10, number of guests is 1, order type. So you have the functions here, you have the negative check. So you need to void that 100 grams to negate the check or the transaction. So let's say guest complaint or wrong item. Okay. So once you select the negative posting, as you can see here, there's a transaction void 100. So now you need to go to hot beverage, since
Same
that's
order.
that's a 5 items. You need to void that 5 items. But as you can see, it will give you as minus. Okay, so this is the way we used to void an item, not reopening or something. So here it's 100, so you need to close it with the same payment method they used earlier. So 100. You don't need to put a negative, it's just plain 100. Okay? So as you can see here, it's 100. So whatever you posted earlier 100, and then you negate the 100 dirhams as well, so it will balance the report. So now you can repunch the item with the 4 items instead of 5. Okay? So that's how you use a negative posting. Okay, so and that's the best practice, how to use it. I don't know how you're going to use it, but should be done. So it will not be a problem for the finance because it has some problem.
The check number, is not possible to should be same. It's different.
Because check number is unique. So whenever you open a check, it will be separate check number. You cancel it, and then you open new one, it will be different.
But when we go in the revenue file, then it will be showing 0, 0.
What do you mean?
This the same bill, it's showing 0 when we put the negative. When we make negative check.
No, it will just give you because you just want to change it, you want to change the existing close check. Because in the close check, we don't have the reopening close check.
Infinity don't have reopening, yes?
There is, but it creates a double posting. It will be a problem for finance.
So we need to inform the finance we making the negative check.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they will ask you for the check number of the original check.
Yes.
And the voided check. So you can give it to them.
Same.
They will understand it. I think you're using it in some other.
Yes, yes.
You guys use it over there?
Yes, yes, we are
Using the
using.
same, right?
Yes, same.
So
You need to give the reference.
that's the best practice. It's good because not everyone is using that. Okay, so any question on that?
No. But we need to put same item
Same item.
and same quantity and same closing.
The same thing, if I wrongly just paid by cash, but I closed in Visa or something, just paid by Visa, and in Visa also Mastercard Visa card. If I
Yes. That's also fine. You can also do it in the same way, but we have a just close check, which is
Only payments we can.
Actually, we have the adjust close check. Actually, it's not here. Adjusting a close check is just basically changing the payment method. Only the payment method. Yeah, good thing you asked that because it's not here. So adjusting a close check, or in that scenario you want to close from Visa to cash or from cash to other payment. We have the adjust close check, wherein once you select that option, it will just ask you for the check number because technically you have the bill. So from there you can see the check number. You can manually enter it, and then from there you can void the payment, and then you can change with the other payment method. But that is only for manager. Yeah. I think in other equity you have that.
So no need to void first, like credit card or debit card. First void, then after we need to mention
The payment.
cash. Yes. Like this. Yes.
Yes, not like the negative post again.
Yeah.
Another one
Like a
is with
reopening
the
check.
Yes,
items.
reopening check.
But this payment also, payment adjustment also show in void.
No.
No, payment first we need to void.
Yes, only because you're, that void will only be with the items. But if you're gonna do a payment, no. But it won't affect the reporting.
Or we can only adjust only the payments. Like
Yes.
we cannot adjust the items.
No, they cannot adjust anything on that,
Oh.
except for the payment. So what other, based on my experience, what they do is, instead of, because if you do adjust close check, you need to finish it. If you don't finish it, it will give you an error. If you need to finish the transaction. And what others used to do is, if they're playing around, they will gonna start it because they get scared if they see that error. Because they usually use it for voiding an item, but they don't know it's not possible. So in case that happens, so don't try to do it because finance will chase you and they will ask you for
Catch
that
you.
specific check
And
number.
shoot you.
So just remember, adjusting a close check will not void any item or discount. Because many times it happens that they want to add a discount and they will use adjust close check, which is not possible at all.
If like we have 4 5 workstations, if I open a check from workstation 1, I can close on workstation 4 also.
Yes. But at the same time, no.
No, like I finish with all the checks. I put all the items, everything. I come out in main menu. After that, I can close it. Like you show the yellow.
Now that yellow, if you're actively using it in this workstation 1 and you go to the workstation 4, you won't be able to pick it up because it will give you an error that this is already open in the specific workstation. So it will give you that prompt. I cannot show it to you because we only have one machine.
Yes.
But
Like
it will give you.
some like there is
You can see that.
one club.
They all are connected to one.
At the night I think that there is a outlet that's opening in day only,
Okay.
and they leave one check open, so we can close from another workstation.
Yes, yes, you can. Technically, you can.
If it is the same revenue center, and if you mean to say
No, our outlet is different or some it totally different. Revenue center is different, so we can close from another.
You can open the revenue center.
I'll give you this scenario. So you have the sign-in RBC list, right? So 625. So let's say we'll open one check here.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute. So technically this revenue center, sorry, this workstation belongs to room service. As you can see here, room service.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's say Spices is working only in the morning. So open a check, select an item, place it. Okay. So I have opened one table in the Spices. So let's say the Spices is already closed. You want to close it here, right? On this machine. So you have to sign in RBC list. The same thing. Even though this is from room service, you can still access it. So technically you can still close any bill from any workstation, but the sale will be go to the where the revenue center is open, where the check is open.
Open, yes.
So this is just giving you convenience rather than, for example, you have a multiple revenue center with, let's say you have the rooftop pool and you have in the ground. So you don't want the customer to or the client to go upstairs to get their bill. So that's the convenience of Symphony. So you can do it from
I
any
think we
workstation
can
as long as they
write
have
here
the
9, yes. Total 9 number of the revenue center.
8.
We can add here one more, yes.
You can
Revenue
put
center.
8, maximum 8.
8.
8.
But my previous property we have 9, and same Symphony, same we are using.
Maximum is 8.
Or if there is a 10 outlets,
What because in
like
each
here we
workstation-
want to add here laundry.
Yeah, we can do that, but you can put only maximum 8. So you need to remove two of them. What we are doing on that scenario is which one is near to that revenue center. So we're putting the outlet, which is there's a possibility that we can transfer or open the check. But yeah, it happens. Like in Jumeirah, you have in Jumeirah they have I think 40 revenue center. So they don't have this because we have maximum of 8 revenue center. So we decide we have closed them. This is the possible. So they are putting only near to each other revenue center, which is near to them, near to that workstation. For example, in room service, normally only dining is near to that. So, but laundry will be different far. So we don't put. But it depends on the structure of the hotel and how you're going to use it. Because some hotel they also don't do transferring a check from different revenue centers, so that's why. But you can put maximum 8. You can change it later. It's not a problem. Okay, so okay, we have the reprint close check. So some other function like reprint close check is only for managers because it's already closed. So as you can see here, there will be all the checks that will be that can be printed. Again, whenever you do a print, it will give you the number of how many times it was reprinted. Press select the check, and then press OK. It will give you on the bill. So change RBC serving period. Actually, very rarely you're gonna use it. So changing of this is it's just basically changing your serving period. So if in some scenario like there's a guest that came from breakfast and they decided to stay there until and then they ordered on the breakfast, so they decided to stay there until evening for dinner serving period. But the item is already touched for breakfast. So to get that correct sales to the proper serving period, you need to change the serving period, and then you can close from there.
What is the timing set for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Actually, I'm not sure what time is it. I think until 11 a.m.
Okay. Is it possible we can edit it as well?
Yeah, of course. Timing can be changed. It's not a problem.
This will automatically change or
Automatically. It's automatically.
automatically?
Yes. Okay, so we have the change default revenue center. So change default revenue center is basically changing this one because this is the default revenue center room service. So rather than because if you want to swipe your card, automatically go to that specific revenue center, you can do it on the side. So change default revenue center, it will give you all the revenue center here. Right? So let's say I want to change it to spices. So I sign up. So it's already spices. Okay, so spices. Okay. If I sign up and then sign in again, it automatically goes to
Spices.
So that's the changing of default revenue center. So any question on that?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So room inquiry is basically everyone knows it. So it will just give you the information of the room. Okay, so we only have one room open, so 1507. So it will give you all the details of that user or customer. Okay. So we have the reports here. Okay, so
It is possible to show him the full information about the guest inquiry.
actually this one is from different it's not from Symphony side. So
It will show the check-in, check-out.
We need to edit.
And
Okay.
I'm not sure about it, but you can
In the
because
Opera.
from here I don't change anything from here. It's just basically
No, maybe mostly times, you know what, maybe the guest have allergy and so they mention in this reservation detail or guest details.
maybe,
So
maybe they will put something here.
Yes, we
Yes.
Yeah, but,
The messages and all,
that will be
cash, no cash,
yes,
credit.
credit,
this one I don't have
nationality, allergens.
Okay, so we'll just go to the reports and then we'll be done
Yes.
because we don't have the machine, so you cannot test right now. Okay, so for the reports, okay, for this one for managers, everyone, just for your information. So we have the property financials. So you have the revenue center financial. You want me to discuss this to them or
It's fine.
That's fine.
It's
So property financial, so you have the revenue center financial. So property is basically for all the outlets. Okay, so revenues for specific outlets. So if you click here, so you have here the period. So maximum 7 days we can see. So you cannot add more than that. That's by default. And the night audit will be 4 a.m. So every 4 a.m. the night audit's automatically running the night audit or end of day. Okay. So let's say today, because we don't have anything other day, so run report. So right now you have the sales for all the property. Okay, so you go click display if you don't want to print. Okay, so you can zoom in and zoom out, which is the normal one. So you have all the details here below. How much is the total for the vendors, and order type, and some financial figures. So you can custom it. I think everyone knows it. So custom.
You can change by date.
You can check but as you can see here, you can see all the dates. But technically, you can see only last 7 days. Let's say, but you won't see any amount, so you don't have any posting. So the same thing here in the revenue center financial. The only difference, all the configuration will be on the left hand side. Okay. So period, and you can select the specific revenue center. So this is the same report on property financial. The only thing is you can see it, especially if you're in the specific outlet, you don't have the access for the other revenue center, so you can rely on this for your cash out for the whole day.
Closing.
Yes, for closing. You want to print it, just simply print the check. But if you just want to see the display only here. So we have
Every cashier, after your shift is ended, you have to print this report, attach it with your cash drop envelope, okay? For the general cashier to check in the next day that your cash is good.
So, so whatever report here you can see is all the same type. You need all the configuration will be on the left hand side. So we also have the assigned employee ID. Assigned employee ID is only for the managers or for ID. So we just skip on that. So since we don't have any employee right now, so I need to add it. So if you want to assign your micros card, so simply select the employee name and click edit, and then swipe the card. So that card will belong to that employee. Simple as that. So you have the minimize and close application. So I don't. So any question? I think.
Yes, it is possible to Mr. Edwin, he making one check. He's left. He is with a card. He's left. So it is possible to can I make this check on my card? Can I transfer? Yes.
Yeah, there's an option on that. There's an option. But it's not
Show me.
enabled here, but there is the option for that.
There is his option.
But it will show who open and who will close.
Yes.
No, what will happen? That's what will happen is, for example, you have 3 open checks under your name, and then your ship is about to end. What will happen is we will transfer all your checks to save to this guy. So now all the checks will be saved on that guy's name, not to the guy who end the ship.
No, if they print, it will show who opened the check.
Yes, who opened the check.
And when they close, it will show again who
Yes,
closed the check.
but it will be saved under your name once you transfer it.
because the second person is taking the handover.
Yes, handover and the settlement will go to the second person.
Yes. That's
Can
not
you-
possible.
Can you sign in again?
Yeah.
In report, yes. Revenue center finance, how many days it will take for the
Maximum
report?
7 days.
Both of them
Any
7
report,
days.
yes. Any
If
report,
I need the whole month, it is possible?
No.
No? Because we need to check the whole month how many pizza we sell, how many items we sell. It is possible to check the whole month?
1 week you can, but
Not in the micros, but
Not
in
the
the system maybe yes.
If if you're looking for because there's two reporting, one is on the micros or the workstation report, and we have the my micros or reporting analytics, which is you can technically see from the start.
1 week from which day to, like from starting one day,
Last 7 days.
last 7 days.
Yes, last 7 days. That's the maximum for the workstation.
Okay.
One more question, Kristen.
Yeah.
As we said, like offline mode, right? We open the check, there is no internet, we close the check. So when we have a internet, how we gonna convert it?
So what we have the adjust, that's why we have the adjust close check.
Okay.
So whatever the payment you put in cash or offline cash,
Yeah.
you need to change it to the normal transfer.
Again, do it again.
When we don't have the internet, like that is not going to happen anyway.
Yes.
But still, if that is the case, there will not be that option of offline payment for anyone.
That's
That time you have to consult finance, whatever problem is there, let finance handle it.
yeah. So that's an option. So if that's the case, I will remove the offline for now.
Yeah.
But that's I mean, it's just giving you some information. So any questions?
Any question, guys? Clear, yeah?
No, that's
So that's it, right? So I think that's it. So since any additional information you want to ask me or some scenario
the
that you faced
management
before,
for you and me.
Later.
that you get stuck or something like that. This is the time you can ask me now, because later you might not be able to find me.
Because split bill, we can share the amount equally to all the bills, right?
If you guys have any question, like you guys have been working on micros before also, some of you, any question that you have in your mind, not just for this one, any question that comes to your mind right now, like, because you've been using micros, so you might have some things in your mind like, this is something, how to get this, or whether this can be done like that, you can ask that. Any question that you have in your mind. You might be able to
I will ask, but later. It's belongs to finance.
that you will have to.
I want to ask you something. Maybe mostly time, what's happening on in this hotel. Maybe I make the bill and I don't know the is one guest is coming from another property and I didn't give him discount. I closed the without discount. So it is possible they asking me again. Actually, I am from the atrium. It is possible to give me discount. So at that time we can give him 50% discount.
Yeah,
Or
it's
something?
possible. The same
Closing check.
negative posting.
Closing check.
Yes.
At that time we need to.
Yes, we need to do a negative posting. The same example I showed you. If you ordered 5 items, which is they only ordered 4 items.
Yeah.
So you need to negate whatever the checks from the start. You need to have you need to have it as a negative amount. And then from there you okay.
Show
Give
it
one
is
example.
possible. Show me, yes.
Because I don't have the discount list, so that's why we can use with the same discount.
No need to give him discount. Just tell him.
So begin a table. Okay, so this is the item, and let's say I want some beverage because there's we're using the same item because we don't have the price. So okay, so I close it, payment. So as you can see, there's a 28 dirhams. Okay,
Yes.
go payment, see cash.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. 28. Okay, forget to mention that the decimal number is mandatory. Okay. Okay, so 28. So let's say the guest complained that they don't receive the discount.
Yes.
So that 28 dirhams. So you need to do is open a table. Okay, so as much as possible the same table number, same number of guests, same order type, just for us to be to easily identify it.
Yes.
So go to functions, and you have the negative check. Okay, so negative check will be so whatever options you need to require. Let's say wrong item or
Guest complaints.
guest complaint. Okay, so guest complaint. So you ordered that item, pizza, with the toppings and the beverage.
Fanta.
Fanta. So it will give you a negative 20. So what we are doing in this scenario now is we're just having the same duplicate check that we need to boil. Because we forget something or forget to add something or we add more than that. So
This excess only
For manager, only for manager.
outlet
For the
managers
managers.
and F&B managers.
So I go to payment. So the same payment method we used before, 28. So done. So it means you already close it.
Now we
It's
can
like,
make.
it's like the sale is zero. But
So now I need to make again
now
check.
we need to create the correct check.
Sure.
Okay, so this one. So we're gonna change, but this one it doesn't matter if it's a different table. But if you want to be a reference the same table, no problem.
Now, since it will be into operation, but since this point has come here, these negative checks, whenever you have any issue, you speak to your manager and you do a negative check. Once you finish your shift, not at the same time, because I know you will have guests to attend and all. Once you finish your shift, you have to bring all those negative checks and take my approval on that before closing your shift.
Sure.
Okay?
Yes.
So make sure once you finish your shift, you take approval and then you. Otherwise, when the income auditor next day takes a check without my approval, that time it's issue. Okay?
And sir, if someone is coming, we need to make like a complimentary check. So we need your approval also. Yes, sir.
Complimentary checks you don't need to because every time right now once we'll open the hotel, there will be lot of complimentary entertainments.
Yes.
But you will have a prior approval in that. That means,
Like by mail.
yeah, by email or like we will have that we have a complimentary form. Okay, so that will be given to you all. Like it will be filled by sales or whoever is entertaining. The number of packs will be there. The approval will be there. Okay, so you can attach that with the bill. You can attach that. Now, if in case there is no prior approval, okay, and complimentary is to be given on that particular time, you will immediately print a complimentary check. Either like if it is complimentary wherein I am joining there with the guest or GM is joining with the guest. So you take approval of the concerned person who is sitting with them. Okay, complimentary checks can only be signed either by GM or myself. And for income auditor, even after the signature of GM, you have to take my approval on that.
Okay.
That's
And this is approved for all the HODs only or GM only?
Sorry?
Like we need to give him for the all HODs or
No,
only for?
HODs are not authorized to sign the complimentary checks.
No, for the food. We need to close like HOD is coming any from any departments, so they're asking for the food complimentary, so we can give him.
No, they cannot take complimentary food unless it is approved by me.
Sure. At the
Prior
same.
approval, if HODs are willing to have any complimentary entertainment, prior approval either from GM or from myself.
Okay, sir. Otherwise, we can say, extremely sorry, sir, we need approval. Still, we didn't get any approval.
If it's come, just ask them to talk to me and I will.
Yeah, because the manager will be there available.
Yes.
Okay. Just leave it up to me.
Things will fall in line accordingly. Nobody is going to come like that. Everyone will know the policy.
Yeah.
So none of the HODs is going to come to you.
We are connected to manager.
Okay, so they will speak to him only. There is the issue. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, so any questions? If there's any question, I think the training is done. So you can leave if you want.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.